Over 100,000 Call of Duty fans just told us what the biggest problems with Call of Duty and Modern Warfare 4 are, and the data isn't subtle. I read every comment, I weighted every endorsement, I pulled from 50 videos across 12 of the biggest creators in this community, and what the data revealed are the biggest problems Call of Duty is facing right now, according to the community. So let's get into it. I am IceBurgz. If you have watched any of my videos before, you know I'm a Call of Duty nerd. 5 years and 500 videos covering this franchise from the inside out. I'm not a streamer chasing clips, I'm just a guy who loves Call of Duty and reads every single comment left on his channel. So when I started seeing the same couple comments reappear in my comment section on every video, it made me wonder, is this just my community talking about the problems that they see with Call of Duty, or is this across the board among all the creators? Now here's exactly how I pulled all the data, and I want you to be able to fact check me on everything. I pulled 50 videos from Call of Duty creators published in 2026. 12 of the biggest Call of Duty creators on YouTube with a combined reach of over 10 million subscribers. 18,000 individual comments were pulled, and I tagged them all by theme, and then every comment was weighted by community likes, because on YouTube, a like is a vote, so 400 likes is 400 people agreeing with that comment. And the math got us to nearly 140,000 weighted fan interactions. And the same 6 problems emerged across all creators from every region, every place in the globe, every content bucket, whatever you want to divide them as. The same issues came up, and the fans did the talking. I'm just showing you what the data said. We're counting down from 6 to 1. At number 6, with 9,939 endorsements, about 7% of the total pie chart here is what I'm calling the mode and mood bucket. And this is kind of 2 related conversations that end up really kind of sharing the same DNA. The first is a loud minority of players asking for DMZ to come back, or DMZ in Modern Warfare 2 to get more support because of a cheater problem. And the other side of it is just a bunch of one-off problems that a couple people in the community seem to be recurring run across. And really this entire kind of area right here is death by 1,000 cuts. It's individual complaints from a lot of different people that have been upvoted by other people agreeing with them, but none of them are one specific issue that's across the board, across all creators. It's seemingly just kind of isolated incidents. But I want to move on to number 5, because number 5, with 12,827 endorsements, roughly 9.2% of the total pie chart here, is matchmaking. And I want to be straight with you on this one. I am not the guy you should be coming to for a multiplayer matchmaking deep dive. I replay the Call of Duty campaigns more than I play multiplayer. I'm aware that there is skill-based matchmaking, and I'm aware how loud this conversation is, but you should really ask Realistic or T-Dog Smitty for the multiplayer take, because they live in those lobbies and I don't. So what I can tell you is what the data showed. And the themes that kept stacking up come down to 5 things. Skill-based matchmaking is perceived as the root cause of nearly every multiplayer complaint across the board. The slide cancel sweat meta that's redefined every public lobby is contributed to skill-based matchmaking. Cheaters multiplying after Modern Warfare 2019's Game Pass drop and cheaters in Black Ops 7 is blamed on skill-based matchmaking because all the cheaters get put in the same lobbies. Server and netcode issues showing up at low ping because people believe that their ping is an influencing factor in skill-based matchmaking. Every match feels like a job sentiment, and that was just a universal thread across all these comments. So what nearly 13,000 people said, the fans want a casual queue, transparency on how matchmaking works, and a public lobby that doesn't feel like a tournament. They want to be able to hop in, have fun, and get into a game whenever they want to. Whether that's the right diagnosis, that's a conversation for the multiplayer creators. I'm just telling you what 9% of all comments said. Coming in at number 4 with 18,749 endorsements and 13.5% of the total pie chart is monetization. And the way fans are framing this in 2026 is kind of specific here, because the recurring theme across over 10,000 comments is that there is a perception among fans that more time is spent developing cosmetics for a game than actually spent on back-end support. And really kind of boils down to people feel like there's a cosmetic first design philosophy where it's more important to make and sell cosmetics for the game than it is for the game to be good. A lot of people feel like the game is over-monetized and oversaturated by that monetization. I mean, one of the biggest complaints is that with Season 3, Black Cell is now in front of the multiplayer lobbies when you launch multiplayer. Lack of back-end support after launch has been a direct complaint and is perceived as a consequence of monetization focus. A couple of fans were complaining about cosmetics not pairing between games because you pay for a skin for $20 and then you don't get to use it a year later. And overall, there's this feeling that the prices are slowly creeping up and costing more and more, and there's a bundle inflation across all of Call of Duty. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because it was estimated that Activision made roughly as much money selling Black Ops 6 as they did from microtransactions in the same year. That's the data point that explains what a lot of fans are feeling. The store isn't a side hustle anymore, it's a co-equal revenue engine. Basically, Call of Duty will make as much money from microtransactions as they will from selling the game. And when players spend $25 on a skin in Black Ops 6, and that doesn't transfer to Black Ops 7, and that doesn't transfer to Modern Warfare 4, they feel burned. That's not a hot take from me, that's just what the comments are saying. And I want to be clear here, the fans are not anti-Activision. They're pro-Call of Duty. They're just asking why the store gets fall cycle support and the game seemingly doesn't. And the most interesting data point out of this for me was this issue showed up across 7 of the 12 creators I surveyed. That is tied for the second widest cross-creator footprint in the entire dataset. Now, number 3 to me is interesting because I didn't expect this one to rank in the top 5, but with 22,231 endorsements, exactly 16% of all the comments, is the campaign. And the campaign is a huge determining factor on whether fans show up for Call of Duty launch at all. Now, I want to be transparent on this one. I did not pull data from T-Dog Smitty's recent video on campaign importance, which would have spiked this number even higher. So the fact that 22,231 people landed here, completely separate from that video, from different creators, different videos altogether, tells you there is a reoccurring theme baked into the community itself. In the pattern, campaigns built Call of Duty legends, and the recurring claim is that golden era Call of Duty games were campaign first, that there was this feeling that you hopped into the campaign and then multiplayer was based on that. The Modern Warfare 3 documentary that came out recently even testified to that. A lot of people hop in and play the campaign first. So the comments started saying that they felt like multiplayer priority was killing the campaign, and it was kind of a shared diagnosis across multiple different fan groups, multiple different videos, multiple different creators. A lot of people said open combat missions are not a campaign, don't give us campaigns under 4 hours, and make a campaign that feels realistic and gives us good story continuity. In my opinion, fans want a good campaign. Full stop. The specific style they keep asking for is Modern Warfare 2019. Gritty, grounded, mature, and cinematic. That is the tone that broke through in 2019, and that's the tone fans want again in 2026. And this is where I'd say the data is kind of a gift to Modern Warfare 4, because most franchises have to guess what their audience wants. Call of Duty fans are handing Activision a blueprint with all the parts labeled, and all Call of Duty has to do is make a gritty and grounded campaign like Modern Warfare 2019 from Modern Warfare 4, and 16% of all the fans will be happy from that alone. But we get into the last 2 here, and I want to be clear. These last 2 issues make up over half of all comments that I surveyed. The second most important issue across the board among all comments, with 33,346 endorsements and comments, 25% of all the comments we got is about casual players. And honestly, this one shocks me because this isn't a skill-based matchmaking complaint. This is something bigger overall. An overarching feeling, and that's that recent Call of Duty games cater to pro players and streamers, not everyday fans. So what I kept seeing show up was that there's a lot of fans who feel like there's a streamer and pro design philosophy that makes games really good for competitive players, but makes it harder for casual players to hop in. There's just a general Call of Duty fatigue with this because it's not really a specific complaint, it's just a feeling that the game isn't for them anymore, that they hop off and they're not having fun with the game, so they just don't come back and play it. There was a bunch of comments from parents who said they couldn't enjoy Call of Duty anymore, specifically dads saying that every match feels competitive when they just want to chill after work. And there's been this cultural death of hop in and have fun. The broader cultural complaint that Call of Duty stopped being a casual friendly game because they made it more heavy on the grind, leveling up guns and locking camos takes more time than most people have. And if I was Activision, I would be worried because this is massive. This is 25%, nearly a quarter of all the comments I analyzed, that says casual players are not the ones who are complaining on Twitter or Reddit, because casual players don't write essays about why they're disappointed. They just walk away. They just step away from the game and they leave the game behind. They don't leave commentary, they just don't play the game again. Because for every casual who's actually left a comment on a YouTube video about not playing the game anymore, there's probably at least 10 more who've already uninstalled the game and never said a word, never left a comment, and just walked away. They just want to hop on, play for 2 hours with their friends, maybe 3 times a week, and just have fun. They don't want to worry about weapon leveling or trying to hit max prestige or unlocking whatever this week's challenge is. They just want to have fun with the game. So it's something to be worth noting because number one is going to shock a lot of people. If you are a YouTuber or a streamer or you cover Call of Duty at all in any way, this last one is going to shock you. But it shouldn't shock a lot of casual players and fans. The number one issue, with 41,847 comments, 30% of everything commented in the most agreed upon opinion across the entire Call of Duty community in 2026, that more Call of Duty games need to be like Modern Warfare 2019. Throughout all the comments I read, throughout everything I saw, Modern Warfare 2019 being the kind of gold standard that most players have in their mind for a Call of Duty game is a reoccurring theme across the board. Modern Warfare 2019 was a casual friendly game. Fans specifically called out that it worked for the demographic we talked about in the last segment. A lot of fans felt like Modern Warfare 2019 was a complete game from start to finish. Campaign, multiplayer, spec ops, all were coherent, all blended together, and all added to one another. There was a grounded military tone, and really, a reoccurring comment that I saw a lot that surprised me was that people were ditching Black Ops 7 to go back and play Modern Warfare 2019. A significant handful of upvoted comments were just people saying they were going back to play Modern Warfare 2019. And in my opinion, that should tell you everything you need to know about where the Call of Duty community's heart actually is. They lit up the player charts for a 7-year-old game in numbers that beat every recent release. That is not nostalgia, that's not a fuzzy feeling about a good game. That is a verdict that a lot of people really love Modern Warfare 2019. And Modern Warfare 2019 is what Call of Duty's new gold standard should be. It was better for casual players, it felt complete. It had the tone, the weight, the campaign, the identity that fans were still asking for 7 years later. And mark my words, when you put it all together, the 42,000 endorsements and comments on a single theme tells us Modern Warfare 4 doesn't need to reinvent the wheel. They just need to remember what worked. So when you zoom out and you pull it all together, nearly 140,000 fan endorsements, 6 themes, 12 creators, 50 videos. What the data says is that issues 1 and 2 together, the Modern Warfare 2019 standard and the casual player, make up 54% of every endorsement and comment in this dataset. Add the campaign at number 3, and the top 3 themes account for over 70% of everything fans have said in 2026. That's not 6 separate problems. That's one problem with 3 faces. The community wants Call of Duty to remember who it was built for and go back to being a grounded casual game. The massive problem that this title of this video promised you isn't actually a problem at all in my opinion, because it's an opportunity. And honestly, if Modern Warfare 4 just fixes 2 or 3 of these issues, I guarantee most fans of Call of Duty will be happy with Modern Warfare 4. And that's the bottom line. The fans aren't asking for the moon. They're not trying to be Groot and steal the moon.
Tonight, we steal the moon!
They're just asking for a game that respects them as casual players. A game that feels like it was a fully designed game. Here's what I need from you, because I may make a follow-up video on this depending on what the comments say, and of these 6 things I talked about, tell me in the comments what your number 1 issue was. Drop the number, tell me why, and if you think that Call of Duty is too far gone, that Modern Warfare 4 won't save the franchise, then check out my video on how Call of Duty is rebooting the entire franchise in 2028, and the evidence is overwhelming. Link is on screen and in the description, and until next time, I am IceBurgz. Stay frosty.